think I'm actually recording. Oh, I need to fix that. Sorry, everyone. Give me a minute. Is that better? Much better. Alright, everybody. Welcome to the Dispenser Show. I know it's been quite a while since I did a live stream, but I felt like doing one today. Just trying to work on getting feedback in my headset here. It's been quite a while since I did a live stream, so I'm trying to get all my settings. I'm on a different tower, so all my settings are jumbled up. Just trying to fix all my settings. You know, I've been thinking about this all day, and I didn't expect it to be quite like this. I was going to do a recording, but I figured I would do live and see if I can actually be able to do this. You can hear the background. I tried to close my door, it didn't work out too well. You know, I'm just gonna go with it. I will fix it after. Anyways. It's my first attempt at painting minis, so I just figured I might as well try my first attempt with you guys. My primer is Vallejo. And just my usual brushes, so. I know I could do this, you know, more towards going to a place. But I wanted to try it out first over here. That way I don't look like a weirdo. Just trying to find something to place down over top of my mouse pad here so it doesn't make a mess. Don't want to do that. There we go. Garbage. Theoretically, I should be using a bigger brush, but why not try the smaller brush first? This looks a little more soupy than stuff that I watched someone else use. Almost like you need 2 layers. Maybe I use too much. It's really weird how little you put on your brush compared to how much it can spread out on your mini. Actually, covers quite a bit. Might have to do 2 coats on this because it barely covers. And I know everyone's like, well, just slap it on there and call her good, but you know, you want to leave the detail for, you know, for your paint. So This is where you really got to take your time. I'll go ahead and let that dry. Go on to the next one. You don't need very much on your brush. It just, with this stuff being so soupy, you really have to spread it out. It's a learning curve for me because this is really my first time painting anything in a very, very long time. Everyone's like, there's nothing to it, but in all honesty, you need a knack for it. You need, it's almost like it's an art in itself. Just slightly dab into the paint, or the primer, sorry. So I can just finish covering. I've been, like I said, I've been thinking about this all day, and I've been trying to figure out, a way to get everything set up, because I've been away from you guys because my computer broke down. My streaming capabilities and my feedback is going through my head. Oh, not my head, my earphones. And I tried to do that, and I'm like, that's going to take me a while to figure out how to get rid of the feedback. But sorry, kind of keep down there so you guys can see. My setup is like the worst right now, but hopefully down the road in the future my setups will be a lot better. Alright, see? Kind of haste out there, but just little guys. Once you get into the bigger guys, it will take a little longer, but the detail in these things, you want to keep them out because you want to paint them, and then you want to get that detail in there. Everyone's like, oh, I just slap paint on it and I call it good. It's like, well, gotta have a knack for it. I was and then my son, he's like, well, you just take that spray paint, no effort whatsoever. I'm like, well, is it really gonna reach those nicks and crannies after, or? Just about got into a major argument with him. But he's always, he always I don't know. He's him. He's, he's persistent on certain topics, and magic is one of them. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know I'm still learning about magic, but I watch certain people on what they do. I don't think I really like this primer. Honestly, I think with this stuff, I have to give it a second coat. And I'm in an apartment building, and I don't have the proper lighting yet. So if I miss some of the nicks and crannies, well, I can probably hit it with the second coat. The video that I saw, the stuff that he painted on there was really nice looking. It was a black matte finish, where this is white. It looks a little liquidy too. Try and get those tough crevices in there and try and, because it makes it look like there's like more white in one area than there is another. Once we get the paint going on it, then it should be a lot better to see. I should have stuck with my gut and bought that other stuff, but I was really, really determined to start painting these, and I don't want to wait a week for it to come through Amazon, because the primer that they have there, it's all gone. What I mean by gone is they're sold out, and it looks like they're not getting any more in. train in the background. I got a very potent mic. It'll pick up everything around the house, including outside. Hence the train. I'm breathing a little hard because it is stuffed up in here, but that's what you get for living in an apartment. I would put the fan on, but that would really pick up on my on my audio. Sorry, I keep trying to just keep talking consecutively, but you know, my playback is really distorting my conversation. I really do hope they turn out really nice, because I am really trying to learn a new thing. It and it you know, it'd pay off in the end run. And you know, my mentor, he's like, well, start off with just a random mini and then go from there. Well, these are basically random minis because it's the first ones I've ever gotten. And the ones that we have in the house, the majority of them are all painted already. I've already put too much paint or primer on this thing because you can see the whiter areas compared to the lesser areas. Good old coffee. It's a lifesaver. So, if anyone who's watching, I know that not going to be very many people. These guys look creepy. Look at that. But, you know, what was your first mini painting? You know, what inspired you to start painting on top of it? As mine was the after the final reveal on some of the miniatures that I've seen people paint. That got me into wanting to paint. You know, my grandmother too, she was an artist and she specialized in watercolor. I figured, you know, if I start painting this, you know, if I can do this, get the experience, you know, sort of like a Picasso thing. I know some people, they'll just prime their minis too and they'll just leave it. It's good enough, you know, and then they go on to a different project and they forget about it. But at least I can start with one project at a time because I know I got another one coming in, and I kind of want to build my expertise, or not expertise, but experience. To flip the guy upside down here. So you have to get in there. I know I'm muttering, but you know it is my stream, and I do like talking with you guys. You know, it's my first one in over 2 months that I'm able to finally get on here. At least it's not just my face talking about random things. I've been waiting for this day actually because, you know, being able to actually do something and share with you guys, that's what I've been wanting to do. Inspire people, I guess, would be the best way to put it, because you know, you never know, there could be that one guy out there like myself watching YouTubers do the painting and see the finished products and stuff like that. Inspire them to go out and do it themselves. Do something. See, there's light down here, but it's crazy. My big mitt keeps blocking some of the light. be nice to have one of those things where you can, it's like you hold it, you hold it. It's sort of like a pedestal, like this, and then you can just turn it. But this poor guy over here, it's doing it the hard way. I hope everyone's got their popcorn out, or maybe they're sick of me by now, but I don't know. It's actually kind of calming being able to come on here and do something different than watching movies or playing video games. Because you get sick of them after a while. And to be able to do this, Shadow, if you're watching this, even for a moment, I could see why you guys like doing this kind of stuff. I'm just giving him a shout out because, he really enjoys this kind of stuff. And he actually does it with his son too. And bigger projects and tips and tricks, and I'd like to do it with my son, but right now he's working. I did work today, but it was supposed to be my day off type thing, and they asked me to come in because someone called in sick, and lo and behold, it was my manager. I find it hilarious too how some people want the work, but they don't want to do the work. And it's kind of aggravating at times. I'm gonna finish using this paint up here, or this primer, sorry, and at least I know for next time to grab the other stuff that has a little more of a better finish on it. Trial and error, right? Trial. You gotta learn for yourself. You gotta figure out your own little tricks down the road, and like always, you can take someone else's advice and follow it. Letter for letter, but why not go out the deep end and learn? Isn't that the fun of it? I know a little bit of primer goes a long way with these guys. But like I said, I'm going to probably do 2 coats because I really want to get in there. I want to I'm wondering if you put too much primer on it and you put your paint on, will it cover up some of the details? Sitting here thinking, it's like your mind goes through these, and they're like, what if, what if? And you notice how it covers some of the crevices, but they still pop. And then you're like, well, maybe I'll do one coat of primer. And then, it comes out horrible. I guess when you're experienced, you know what you're doing. You know how much you need, and what little you can do. Cheap brushes, though. I got 2 other brushes, but they're more for the fine tune. This one is basically going to be my primer brush. And then I have been trying to look for the proper paint to use too. Now, it might be me, but if you take a look, I know I don't have the proper lighting to show you, but if you look at it, the primer is drying. The primer is drying. Yeah, it dries almost like it goes back to the matte gray, or the back to the gray instead of. Now you see in some spots, it's whiter in the crevices because paint is actually sitting there, where some of the other primer is clearing up. Does that mean I'm not using enough primer, or am I using too much? that asks the question. Really getting those crevices. I'm only gonna do a few more and then I'll probably pop off here from my live stream. You know, I don't want to take up all the time in the world. But, you know, this is a fun experience with you guys, and I really hope that we'll be able to have more fun. You know, maybe nights where I could hang with Shadow and their company and do some painting with them. And you never know. Just want to get a couple colors to start working on this. I don't have the best shots either. Like, yeah, you can see my hand here, and you know the distance I have away from showing the detail of these things, but like I said, it's going to take me time to get the proper setup so I can really, you know, get my stream off the ground. But I really wanted to hop on here and do a stream because it's been so long. And, you know, I actually got something I could do. Instead of just flapping my gums, you know? I am having a great time. I don't know, for some reason, I'm really enjoying painting. Who knew it could be so addicting? Now, the real fun part is watching the magic happen when you start painting instead of priming. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm like super excited about this. My first ever set minis being painted by my own hand. And not watching anyone do it. Yay, I'm finally one of you guys. Sorry, like, just super excited. I've come come to really enjoy stuff like this. You know, it's always really good to have a hobby. You know, and like 28mm was saying too, you know, I got sessions to play, I got work, I got, but being able to sit down at the end of the day is really relaxing right now. Gonna have to get a couple more brushes so my daughter can paint her mini, and you know, get a couple ready to get ready to do some fine detail work. This is way better than just doing the regular spray paint. If you just want to go through all your minis like real quick, yeah, by all means. But the other set of minis I'm grabbing, I actually want to do airbrushing. Because that looks cool. Too much. It's funny how my mic can pick up absolutely every single noise in this house. Including my loud ass daughter. What I'll do is I'll paint these guys here. There's my camera. You're gonna focus. These guys look cool. And then I'll hop off. Because it's gonna take a while to paint the rest of them. I keep saying paint, but what I really mean is prime. But you guys already knew that. Out of view, out of all the cameras. That's so cool the way the tail is all up like this. And the real fun part was these all came pre-assembled. So you don't need to assemble these to put them together or to prime them. It's like, oh, I really enjoy painting, but you know, I'm gonna use a spray can. When really, you know, the fun part is to be able to sit here and watch it get applied properly by hand and see the magic start to happen. Everyone always seems to be in a rush these days. It's kind of saddening considering where, you know, a person like me has a background of art and a family that does art as well. You know, like I said, my grandmother is an artist, and she actually sold a bunch of her paintings, and it's crazy the amount of detail that she puts into them. It's actually quite funny because I'm only at 10 subscribers, but you know, that's only from like family and friends and stuff like that. I always figured that maybe down the road, you know, the more stuff I do on my page, you know, the more that maybe the more subscribers that would happen to pop by. Now that I'm actually able to start doing things. I know I didn't set a time. Sorry about that. My camera turned off on me. Anyways. Like I said, all my main settings are on my other computer. And trying to get everything to work the way they did on the other computer is just not happening right now. it's actually a pain in the rear right now, so I just have to deal with what I got. You know, the feedback in my headphones, and my camera is falling apart on me, and all the background noise and everything else like that. You know, it's gotta be the way it is. At least I can test the full limitations of my secondary camera here. Much. I think since this one is going to take a while, I will probably finish this one up and then say goodnight, because the other ones are going to take just as long, if not longer. I don't want to drag it out to be a 4-hour video of me just, painting. Which I would love to, but I think you guys would fall asleep on me. And I'd probably be out subscribers. Almost done though. Really trying to get in those crevices. I think I did use a little much on this last little bit here. I do have to say though, some of it does look pretty decent, especially with the type of primer that I got. I do have to say Vallejo is a really good primer, but honestly I wanted to get a better finish than what this was. But trial and error, guys. Trial and error. Just really work that in there. Clean out some of the excess. I know I'm not looking after this brush the best of my capabilities, but when I got it, I actually told myself this one's going to be a burning one, because I need to get, stab it and get it in all the crevices. thing I noticed is that my camera dies out about after an hour of use. Maybe that's why the first time I tried using it when I streamed D&D, it gave out on me. Learning curves, everyone. Learning curves. Alright, I think we got her done. Oh, tiny spot. Right here. Capilla is starting to tack up, which is a good sign. Surprised Shauner hasn't said anything. Anyways, guys, I'm glad I was able to share this with you. And I'd like to keep going and everything, but I need to still work out the bugs on my computer. And I don't want to be boring you guys all night just doing my painting. So I want to say good night, and I hope to be back on here soon for another adventure. But thanks for watching the Dispenser Show. I'm your host, Spencer. Have a good one.